All right, guys, it's finally here. My new show, A Shot in the Dark, talking about all of these topics that parents know deep down in their gut they're not hearing the truth about, but don't know where they can go to for information.
Oh yes, we're back in Conspiracy Land, the new favourite hangout for the Daily Wire.
Finally going to be giving you that information, uncovering the lies that we hear from Big Pharma, making us think that our children are going to die if we don't do exactly what they say. We're going to talk about corruption even in the food industry. There are just so many topics that we are going to cover.
And Candace isn't kidding. She's got a whole episode lineup, each for a different vaccine shot, etc., in which she preaches how they're all evil. Because, obviously, it's all a grand scheme for Big Pharma and government to roll in the dough, right?
Shot in the Dark is streaming now exclusively on Daily Wire Plus. If you are not yet a member, become one today and prepare to have your mind blown.
Well, I'm already in this club, though regrettably so. And let me tell you, my mind is utterly shattered by the sheer brilliance of stupidity and peril that Candace manages to pack into just one persona. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion. You know that you shouldn't look, but you just can't seem to tear your gaze away.
I'm on a journey to ask the questions that it feels like we're not supposed to ask, to look at the data that we're maybe not meant to see. I mean, I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but I am a mother. It's not advice that I want to give people, it's simply the courage to ask questions. I just want us all to be informed so that we never have to take a shot in the dark.
Previously, we focused on Candace's gross misrepresentation on the Gardasil vaccine.
So how did they magically realize this formula was also going to help men?
But this time, we're going to be focusing on vitamin K.
All right, guys, welcome to episode 2 of A Shot in the Dark. I'm still so excited that we are bringing this to the Daily Wire platform. We spent the first episode just kind of introducing all of you guys that are new to this series to what exactly it's about, how I got into this, and why I deem it to be the most important work that I do. And I think now we can sort of jump into the childhood vaccination schedule. I think the perfect place to start, obviously, is when your baby is born. You're a brand new baby. You're so excited. The first thing that the doctor tells you that your perfect little infant needs, of course, is a vitamin K shot. So we're going to spend this episode discussing just that.
All right, let's give a breakdown on vitamin K. Vitamin K is like the body's superhero for blood clotting, but unfortunately, newborns are running empty in this department. Why? Because God is a dick, that's why. No, the reason is because of the impermeability of the placenta and a very low amount of this vitamin in breast milk, irrespective of how many supplements the mother takes. Without enough vitamin K, babies cannot make the substances used to form clots, called clotting factors. When bleeding happens because of low levels of vitamin K, this is called vitamin K deficiency bleeding, or VKDB. VKDB is a serious and potentially life-threatening cause of bleeding in infants up to 6 months of age. It is a rare condition occurring in 1 to 60 or 1 to 250 newborns, but it's easily preventable with a vitamin K shot given at birth. So, with this in mind, let's now turn to Candace's crusade of misinformation.
Now, as we are going to look into the FDA insert of this Just a Vitamin. So here you can see, by the way, this is the neonatal concentration of phytonadione, right? That is your vitamin K1 injection. And very clearly listed, which is what you are not allowed to be given when you are in the hospital, depending on where you live, or I don't know a single person who receives this when they're in the hospital, is this warning that is listed straight away on the package. It says, severe reactions, including fatalities, have occurred during and immediately after intravenous injection of aquamephatin, which is phytonadione, even when precautions have been taken to dilute the product and to avoid rapid infusion.
Now, that's the stuff of nightmares, right? Except, no, it's not. Flip over any medical product and you'll find a list of warnings that would give Candace a field day. It's like Pharma's version of a horror movie script, detailing every possible side effect for the delight of conspiracy buffs. This might sound scary to those unaware of this standard practice, but to those in the know, it's that. It's standard. If a company is aware of the potential side effects of one of its products, even if it's a near zero chance of occurring, and they don't list it, then they can be sued. But here's the kicker. Despite these spine-chilling warnings, there's been exactly one, count it, one allergic reaction reported in a newborn from this injection. But worry not. Candace won't reveal this. Instead, she'll make out that babies are suffering horrendously from vitamin K shots simply to make big cats more milk.
Severe reactions, including fatalities, have also been reported following intramuscular administration.
And as for that incredibly rare case where a baby had a reaction, just know that it lived. It lived. Fast forward to today, and the death toll for babies from vitamin K injection is a whopping 0. That's right, not a single tiny soul has met their doom because of it. But that's not the sensational headline that Candace needs, is it?
Typically, these severe reactions have resembled hypersensitivity or anaphylaxis, including shock and cardiac and/or respiratory arrest. Some patients have exhibited these severe reactions on receiving aquamephatin for the first time.
Likewise, some people have kicked the bucket from consuming peanuts for the first time. Others have gone the way of the dodo from having something as simple as paracetamol or ibuprofen for the first time. But remember, no baby has died from receiving this potentially life-saving intervention. It's important to keep this in mind because in her crusade, Candace paints it out as the big bad wolf, when in reality, it's actually more like the fairy godmother. It is quite literally saving lives.
Therefore, the intravenous and intramuscular routes should be restricted to those situations where the subcutaneous route is not feasible and the serious risk involved is considered justified. So just imagine that your children are being given a dose of something where the label clearly says that your child can die.
It's tragically hilarious that Candace is completely ignoring the what-ifs for babies who miss out on this injection. Let's turn to the National Library of Medicine. Classic vitamin K deficiency bleeding occurs within the first week after birth. Late vitamin K deficiency bleeding occurs in babies 2 to 24 weeks of age. It is a severe condition with high mortality. That is, 1 out of 5 babies with late vitamin K deficiency bleeding die, and out of every 5 survivors, 2 suffer from long-term neurological damage. All 3 forms of vitamin K deficiency bleeding can lead to bleeding in the gut or the brain. So what we're looking at is a clear, classic example of a fear-mongering fool conveniently glossing over the oh-so-tiny detail of vitamin K deficiency causing death in babies. Candace stumbles upon a warning label, jumps to conclusions about non-existent baby side effects, and now she's all up in arms because, horror of horrors, babies get a shot that might just save their lives. She fancies herself as some kind of fearless whistleblower, doling out truth bombs for parents, but in a plot twist worthy of a bad soap opera, her misguided crusade is more likely to lead to tragedy than to triumph. Thanks to her selective sharing, we're set for another round of children suffer because parents can't see past their own damn biases. Classic. Well done, Candace. Absolutely amazing.
This is what the warning on this is, and you can find this on the FDA website, says that when administered to your child can die of this, okay? Imagine living in a state where you have no choice but to subject your infant to this risk, right?
Again, what is this so-called risk Candace is hyperventilating about? If you don't give your baby vitamin K, they roll the dice with odds of 1 in 60 to 1 in 250 of developing blood clots, which can be a one-way ticket to Troubletown, ending in potential lifelong negative problems and even death. Whereas not a single baby who's received the vitamin has punched their ticket to the afterlife. 0, zip, nada. Candace is painting this doomsday scenario of a massive risk when the real danger is her own brand of clueless parenting. The risk is not receiving the vitamin because of the ignorance and conspiracies of people like her. And as for her whole, I'm so oppressed because I have to boost my baby's vitamins spill. First, she's got the choice, but apparently logic isn't part of that decision-making toolkit. And second, let's not forget how she's A-OK with car seat laws. She's not out there saying, oh my goodness, I can't believe the powers that be force us to use baby seats in cars, when a very small number of babies get hurt by the seats every year. It's the same logic, except when Candace spins it, it's less about safety and more about throwing a tantrum over government's apparent overreach, because heaven forbid we protect babies in cars and with vital vitamins, right?
They don't care. They just say, oh, you have to, because it's just a vitamin. But it's so clearly not just a vitamin. This is not just a vitamin.
I wonder, has Candace ever read the labels of other vitamins? Take multivitamins, for example, a very common dietary supplement, which can cause an upset stomach or vomiting and even allergic reactions, including difficulty in breathing and swallowing. Iron. Iron's another one. Iron can lead to black tarry or bloody stools, fever, severe stomachache, and in some cases intense abdominal pain. Then we have vitamin C, widely known for its health benefits, and yet it also has potential side effects, and especially when taken in excessive amounts, such as nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, heartburn, stomach cramps, fatigue, insomnia, and so on. Honestly, if Candace's logic wasn't so harmful, it would be the punchline to a bad joke.
Because just a vitamin wouldn't lead to this sort of a warning label, right? If you were just giving your child vitamin K, do you think that they would have this severe of a warning? So let's actually look into what ingredients are in this. It says that it contains, of course, we know the main thing, it contains polyoxyethylated fatty acid derivatives, dextrose, hydrose, benzyl alcohol added as a preservative. It may contain hydrochloric acid for pH adjustment.
Oh, the horror. Those big bad words from Big Pharma scheming to take over the world with their terrifying ingredients. Cue the dramatic music, please. Now, let's do something that Candace is allergic to and investigate what precisely these ingredients are. And hold on to your hats, because unlike Candace, we're going to consult a real medical source. Consider the fatty acids. This is used in a small amount as a solvent or emulsifier to dissolve the vitamin K into liquid form. Some adults can have allergic reactions to this substance, but newborns cannot because their immune systems are not yet sensitized to possible allergens. Wait. What was that about allergic reactions? Some adults have allergic reactions to this substance, but newborns cannot. Dextrose. This is simply sugar. This is what is used when a newborn has hypoglycemia, low blood sugar. Benzyl alcohol. A very small amount is used to prevent bacterial contamination in the shot. You would need to give approximately 100 times higher amounts of benzyl alcohol on a daily basis in order to cause any side effects. Hydrochloride. A small amount of hydrochloride may be used to adjust the pH of the solution. It is an acid, which means that it contains hydrogen ions that can adjust the pH of the substance. You see? Very scary. Incredibly terrifying. Oh my goodness.
Does any of that sound to you like it's just a vitamin?
No, it sounds like a vitamin that has additional contents to enable and aid administration. And your repertoire of incredulous and triggered faces isn't going to change this. This is standard stuff.
Why are doctors allowed to look you in the face and lie to you? It's a lie to tell any parent that what they are administering to their child is just a vitamin and it carries no risk, and yet they lie repeatedly.
Let's get one thing straight. If there's a Pinocchio in this story, it's you, Candace. You parade around claiming to be some kind of research guru, but let's face it, you're either clueless about medicine or you're a master in deception. You're feeding your audience a diet of what they crave, sensationalism over science. And what's sad is that your misinformation seriously harms children. Their blood, which can't congeal, is on your hands.
Do you want to know what one of the biggest risks are, by the way? Again, this is from the FDA website that comes with the vitamin. What comes with the vitamin K shot, the Just a Vitamin K shot? Hyperbilirubinemia, also known as severe jaundice. You might be aware that there has been an explosion of children who are full term that suddenly are having extreme jaundice. It seems very odd to me that so many children are suddenly having jaundice.
So, does vitamin K cause jaundice? To Stanford we go. Only in extreme doses of 25 to 30 milligrams. But worry not, for the standard dose is less than 4 milligrams. The issue of having to adjust the levels of medicine to prevent problems is ubiquitous. The same is true of nearly all vitamins we can take. Too much can lead to problems. Then we have fluoride in water. It's a saviour against cholera, but overdo it and your teeth will pay the price. And then we have antibiotics. They are crucial for treating bacterial infections, but overuse or a dose that's too high can cause really serious health issues. Candace is throwing a fit over discovering one product that enables this common sense principle. It's as if she's just realised that the sky is blue and the grass is green.
And it's definitely a plausibility, at the very least, that this jaundice is being directly caused by the pediatric use of this product. Here it is. It is listed right here on the website. Hemolysis, jaundice, and hyperbilirubinemia in newborns, particularly in premature infants, may be related to this dose of aquamefetin.
Yes, and lo and behold, the very next sentence reads, therefore, the recommended dose should not be exceeded. Colour me shocked. It's downright astonishing that they've handed Candace a microphone and a platform, dressing her up as some kind of expert. How I weep for the children of the parents who injected into their mind the crap of Candace.
Therefore, the recommended dose should not be exceeded. Now, you will also note on the FDA insert, as I told you, virtually all of them say that they have not tested them for cancer. They can't tell you that what they're giving your child does not cause cancer.
In general, we don't test for specific things until we have a reason to suspect that there's a correlation. But in this case, Candace is stating falsehoods. She's spouting off about vitamin K shots not being tested for cancer, but surprise, surprise, they actually have been tested for cancer. Back in the 90s, some flawed reports tried to connect the dots between the shot and cancer. Fast forward to 1999, and the WHO squad says, nope, there's inadequate evidence. There is no convincing evidence that neonatal vitamin K administration, irrespective of the route by which it is given, influences the risk of children developing leukemia or any other cancer. It's almost like Candace missed the memo that you need actual facts before you start a scare campaign. Well, that wraps up this episode. Candace promised mind-blowing revelations, and boy, I could churn out 100 episodes debunking her series of medical mumbo-jumbo. I wouldn't be surprised at this point to discover a video from Candace crying about the dangers of dihydrogen monoxide. I have seldom seen medical misinformation of this caliber, and as much as it pains me to have to listen to Candace speak absolute nonsense, I think that rebuttals like this are very much needed in our world. If you would like to encourage me and the team at Rationality Rules to produce more content refuting misinformation such as this, then please consider supporting us on Patreon. Unlike Candace, who is held up by big business pumping money into the Daily Wire, we can't do this without you. We really can't. Thanks.